Let's kick things off with the big story. Max Holloway, the fan favorite from Hawaii, has made it clear a rematch with Ilia Topuria isn't just something he wants, it's something he needs. And it's not about chasing money or rushing to get another belt. This is deeper than that. For Max, it's about his legacy. He wants to show the world and himself that he can bounce back from defeat, rise up, and take his place at the top again. Now, the question of who and when Max will fight next is still a mystery, but one thing's certain, his sights are locked on Ilia. Ever since Ilia dominated Charles Oliveira back in June to win the lightweight title, fans haven't stopped talking. Who's Ilia going to face for his first title defense? Ilia mentioned he's interested in fighting Paddy Pimblett. That would definitely be a fun, fan-friendly fight. But then Max Holloway stepped up, and the whole conversation shifted. Just last month, Max stepped into the octagon and pulled off a major win over Dustin Poirier. A fight like that reminded everyone that Max is still elite. Here's the thing, Max and Ilia have fought before, and it wasn't even close. Ilia knocked him out clean. A brutal, clear-cut win. But what makes Max so special is his mindset. He's not letting one loss define him. In a recent video, Max spoke straight from the heart. He said it's not about revenge, it's about legacy. He said, if Ilia wants to build his legacy, I'm right here. You did it once. The greats do it twice. Right now, Max is healing from a hand injury, so he might be out for a bit. Plus, since he just lost to Ilia not long ago, a rematch might not happen right away. But if Max comes back strong, beats another top contender, maybe someone in the top 5, the fans are going to demand that rematch. And with his experience, fan base, and resume, Max is still a major player. So what do you think? Should they run it back? Now, let's move on to the second headline. Michael Bisping has a bold take. He says Conor McGregor can beat a washed Michael Chandler. Let's be real. Everyone's always talking about Conor McGregor's return, but the real question isn't if he'll fight again, it's should he? The truth is Conor hasn't won a fight in over 5 years. His last win was in 2020, and even that was against a guy people said was already past his prime. Since then, it's been all downhill. Injuries, personal problems, weird online rants, legal trouble. At one point, it felt like his fighting career was completely over. But recently, something changed. The UFC announced they're planning a massive event at the White House grounds in 2026, a historic moment for the sport. And guess what? McGregor jumped in immediately saying he wants to fight on that card. He's even re-entered the UFC's testing pool, something all returning fighters have to do. Then came Bisping. Speaking on his YouTube channel, the former champ said McGregor vs. Chandler needs to happen. That fight was originally planned for last summer but got cancelled when Conor broke his toe. Now Bisping says it's the perfect fight for Conor to come back to. In his words, him versus Chandler? Interesting fight. I'd favor McGregor. Chandler looked washed against Paddy Pimblett. Over the hill, he looked terrible. He's not wrong. Chandler got completely outclassed by Paddy earlier this year. It wasn't just a loss, it was the kind of defeat that makes you question if someone should still be fighting. He looked slow, his cardio was off, his timing was gone. That's why Bisping thinks Chandler is the ideal opponent for Conor's return, but let's be fair, McGregor's record isn't great either, only one win in nearly 10 years. Even Bisping admitted he doesn't need to fight, but I respect that he still wants to, there's no other feeling like it. Still, Bisping added, will he be the same McGregor? I doubt it. 2016 was 9 years ago, things change. So, what do you think? If McGregor and Chandler finally face off, who wins? Is this McGregor's moment of glory? Or is it already too late? Next up, we're heading into bantamweight territory. Corey Sandhagen recently said if he wins the title, he wants his next fight to be against none other than Sugar Sean O'Malley. Bold call out. And it didn't take Sean long to respond. Now, Corey is already set to face current champ Merab Dvalishvili on October 4th in what's shaping up to be a huge title fight. Merab is on a dominant win streak. This is no easy matchup, but if Corey pulls off the upset, he'll have a lot of options. And from his own words, he wants Sean next. When asked about Corey's comments, Sean gave a surprisingly honest reply. He said, I wouldn't say no. If Corey beats Merab and they offer me that fight, I'd take it. I'd feel a little weird though, coming off 2 losses and getting another title shot, but I'm not going to say no to a title fight, especially against Corey. That kind of honesty? You don't hear it much from fighters. Sean knows it might not look right, getting a title shot after 2 losses, but he's not pretending. He just believes a fight with Corey would be epic. Turns out this fight almost happened before. When the co-main event for the Max vs. Dustin card fell through, Sean said he offered to step in and fight Corey on short notice. UFC didn't go for it though. Sean's been paying attention. He knows Corey is rising fast, and he knows that sooner or later they're going to have to fight. In his words, me versus Corey is a very interesting fight. It's bound to happen. Probably sooner rather than later. And honestly, from a fight style point of view, that matchup would be fireworks. Both are elite strikers. Both have weird, unorthodox movement. Their timing is next level. It would be like watching a high-speed chess match on the feet. Still, Sean's on a 2-fight losing streak. Both losses to Merab. If he wants back in serious title talks, he'll need at least 1 or 2 wins first. But even with those setbacks, this fight with Corey feels more like a matter of when, not if. Would you watch it? Because that could be one of the most exciting matchups in the division. Now let's shift to the middleweight division, and things are heating up fast. Brazilian rising star Baralho just made a bold prediction. He believes Khamzat Chimaev will destroy Dricus du Plessis at UFC 319 and take the belt in dominant fashion. Baralho is no random fan. He's an elite fighter himself and is preparing for his own crucial bout against Nassourdine Imavov on September 6th. That fight could earn him a title shot, but before his turn comes, the spotlight is all on the big one, du Plessis versus Khamzat. It's one of the most hyped fights of the year. Fans are split. Some believe du Plessis has the toughness to survive Khamzat's early storm. Others, they think it's going to be a quick finish. Baralho, he's leaning toward the latter. I always bet against Dricus, but he keeps proving me wrong. Still, I feel like this one could be over fast. Like Khamzat versus Whittaker fast. Maybe a first or second round finish. That's a strong statement, especially considering how gritty du Plessis has been in past fights. But Baralho didn't completely write him off either. 60% of me says Khamzat ends it early, but 40% believes du Plessis is big, strong, and can stop the takedowns. If he survives the first 2 rounds, then things might shift. That's actually what a lot of analysts are saying. Khamzat's game is all about that early explosion. Huge pressure, massive takedowns, suffocating pace. But if du Plessis can survive that, his chances go up big time. We've seen du Plessis get hit hard and keep coming forward. He doesn't break, his gas tank is insane, and he wears people down late. But the risk? Khamzat might not give him that chance. So here's the big picture. If Khamzat wins the title at UFC 319, and if Baralho beats Imavov, we could see those two fight for gold in early 2026. That would be an epic stylistic clash. Right now, odds makers have Khamzat as the favorite, but the fans? Split. Some say du Plessis has already proved he belongs, others believe Khamzat is just too powerful, too wild, too unstoppable. What about you? Do you see Khamzat with the belt after UFC 319, or will du Plessis shock the world again? Now let's talk about a controversial topic that's getting everybody talking. Khabib Nurmagomedov recently proposed a major rule change that would completely change the way MMA is fought, and not everyone is happy, especially not Sean O'Malley. During a recent podcast appearance, Khabib said he believes MMA should eliminate rounds completely. No breaks, no 5-minute intervals, just one long 15-minute fight for non-title bouts and 25 straight minutes for championship fights. No pauses, no corner talks, no scorecards round by round. That's a huge change from what MMA has always been, and it's caused major debate across the MMA world. Sean O'Malley, he thinks it's crazy. Speaking on the Overdogs podcast, Sean fired back with some sarcasm but made his point loud and clear. Yeah, it would definitely help Khabib's style. You take a guy down, and now they don't get a break to stand up? For me, I want more breaks. If you take me down, give me 2.5 minutes to recover. Sure, he was joking, but the truth behind the humor is real. Khabib was known for relentless pressure and wrestling. No breaks would help his style a lot. For fighters like Sean, who rely on striking, movement, and rhythm, rounds are crucial. Those 1-minute breaks between rounds? They're not just rest. They let fighters reset, take advice, adjust their game. They give us comebacks, dramatic shifts, those epic final minute bursts. Some say removing rounds from MMA would make fights feel more real. Like Joe Rogan says, real fights don't pause every 5 minutes, but others argue it's risky. Without rounds, fighters could take more damage, scoring would get messy, and strategy might go out the window. Plus, the drama and momentum shifts between rounds. Fans love that. Rounds create structure and stories. So what do you think? Go raw and real, or keep it smart and safe? Now onto the bombshell. Khabib may have just leaked UFC 322's main event. At a Q&A in New York, Khabib casually said Islam Makhachev will fight Jack Della Maddalena this November at Madison Square Garden, even admitting afterward that his manager might be upset for revealing it. The clip exploded online. If true, this is huge. Islam, dominant, calm, and nearly flawless. Jack, aggressive, powerful, and fearless. It's a clash of styles. Islam will want to wrestle and control. Jack will push forward and strike with fire. So who wins? Will Islam continue his reign, or will Jack pull off a massive upset on one of the sport's biggest stages? We might be looking at one of the most exciting fights of the year.